Hello my friends, this is Dr. Mandell. If you're over 60, you already know how important your muscles are. They keep you walking strong, standing tall, and living with independence. But sadly, after the age of 60, most people start losing muscle mass at a much faster rate, a condition we call sarcopenia. And here's the truth. What you put in your coffee every morning could be either tearing your muscles down or helping you build them back up. So today I'm going to reveal one common coffee ingredient that is destroying your muscles and one powerful add-in that can actually help you rebuild them naturally. As we start getting older, something very important begins to happen inside our bodies that most people never think about until it's too late. And I want you to understand this because it could mean the difference between living with strength, confidence, and independence, or slowly watching your body weaken, your energy fade, and your freedom slip away. That something is called sarcopenia, which simply means the natural loss of muscle mass that comes with aging. Now let's talk about why this matters so much. After the age of 30, our bodies already start to lose a little bit of muscle every single year. But after the age of 60, that muscle loss doesn't just continue, it accelerates. For many people, it feels like it sneaks up overnight. One day you're strong and steady. The next day you start noticing your legs aren't as powerful, your arms feel weaker, and even getting up from a chair takes more effort than it used to. This loss of muscle is not just about looks, it's about survival, it's about independence, and it's about the ability to enjoy your life without relying on someone else to do simple tasks for you. Think about it. Your muscles are what allow you to get out of bed in the morning, climb stairs, carry groceries, lift your grandkids, and simply walk with balance and stability. When those muscles start disappearing, your risk of falling skyrockets. Your bones become more vulnerable. Your joints take more stress. And before you know it, you may be living with pain, weakness, and limitations you never imagined. I see this all the time in seniors. People come to me and say, Dr. Mandell, I just don't understand why I feel so tired all the time. Why do I feel like my legs can't hold me up like they used to? And the truth is, it's often not their bones, it's not always arthritis, and it's not always age catching up with them. More often than not, it's sarcopenia. It's that silent, steady breakdown of muscle tissue that creeps in as the years go by. Here's something else you need to know. Muscle is more than strength. Muscle is your body's greatest storage unit for energy and glucose. When you eat, your muscles help soak up blood sugar and regulate insulin. Strong, healthy muscle mass helps keep your metabolism running, helps control your blood sugar, and even helps protect your heart. So when you start losing muscle, you're not just getting weaker, you're also setting yourself up for diabetes, obesity, heart problems, and so many other chronic health conditions that rob people of their health in later years. And here's what really breaks my heart. So many seniors accept this as just aging. They say, well, doc, I guess this is just what happens when you get older. But that is not the truth. Muscle loss is common, but it's not something you just have to accept. Your body is constantly breaking down and rebuilding tissue, even in your 60s, 70s, 80s, and beyond. The problem is most people are breaking down more than they are rebuilding, and it's usually because of the foods they eat, the inactivity in their daily lives, and the harmful chemicals they unknowingly put in their bodies every single day. Let me give you a simple picture to help you understand. Imagine your muscles as a savings account. Every time you eat protein, every time you move your body, every time you give your cells the right nutrients, you are making a deposit into that account. But every time you skip meals, every time you load up on sugar and processed foods, every time you sit for hours without movement, you are making withdrawals from that account. Over the years, if you keep taking more out than you put in, eventually your account runs dry. That's what happens with sarcopenia. The good news is you can always start making deposits again. It's never too late to turn things around. And the science proves this. Research shows that even people in their 80s and 90s can build new muscle tissue. Your body has the incredible ability to adapt and heal if you give it the right tools. That means the right nutrition, the right exercise, the right daily habits. And that's why I'm talking to you about what goes into your coffee, because even something that seems small, like what you stir into your morning cup, can either speed up muscle loss or help slow it down. But before we get into that, I want you to stop and reflect for a moment. How strong do you feel right now? How steady do your legs feel when you walk? Do you notice yourself getting tired when you climb stairs, or do you struggle to carry heavy bags like you once did? These are not just signs of getting older. These are warning signs that your muscle account is running low, and the longer you ignore it, the more difficult it becomes to build it back up. I want you to think of your muscles as your armor. They protect you from falls, they protect your joints, they protect your bones, and they protect your health. The stronger that armor, the better chance you have of living a long, independent, and pain-free life. The weaker that armor, the more vulnerable you become, and the sad truth is that most people wait until after a fall, after a fracture, or after losing their independence before they realize how important their muscles truly are. But that doesn't have to be you. You can make changes today, right now, that will begin strengthening your body from the inside out. And it starts with awareness, knowing that sarcopenia exists, knowing that it speeds up after 60, and knowing that you have the power to slow it down and even reverse it. That awareness is the first step to taking back control over your health. So my friend, never forget this: muscle is life. The more you preserve and rebuild, the more life, freedom, and independence you'll keep. Don't accept weakness as your destiny. Your body is still working for you every single day, and it's waiting for you to make the right choices to support it. The power is in your hands. Most people love their coffee. For many, it's the first thing they look forward to in the morning. It gives that burst of energy, that feeling of comfort, and in many ways it's part of their daily ritual. And coffee itself, when used the right way, can actually have health benefits. It's loaded with antioxidants, it can help with circulation, and it can even protect the brain. But the problem isn't the coffee. The real danger lies in what most people are adding to that coffee every single morning, often without realizing the harm it's doing. I want to talk about this because it's one of the most silent, sneaky ways people over 60 are destroying their muscles without even knowing it. You see, the most common ingredient that's tearing down your muscle tissue is sitting right there in your pantry, in your fridge, or at the coffee counter. I'm talking about artificial creamers, flavored syrups, and refined sugars. Now let's be real, these things taste good. That's why people use them. They make the coffee sweet, creamy, and indulgent. But here's the truth, that sweetness comes at a heavy price. These products are loaded with added sugars, high fructose corn syrup, artificial sweeteners, hydrogenated oils, and chemicals that your body does not know what to do with. Every time you stir that spoonful into your coffee, you're essentially feeding your muscles poison. Let me explain why. When you consume sugar, especially the refined kind, it rapidly spikes your blood glucose. Your body responds by releasing insulin to bring those sugar levels back down. But when this happens repeatedly, day after day, year after year, your body starts becoming resistant to insulin. That's what we call insulin resistance, and it is the gateway to type 2 diabetes. But here's the connection most people don't know: insulin resistance and high sugar intake directly break down muscle tissue. Instead of your muscles absorbing and using that sugar for energy, it gets stored as fat, and your muscles begin to shrink, weaken, and waste away. Inflammation is another major problem. Artificial creamers and flavored syrups are filled with hydrogenated oils and trans fats. These are toxic fats that create inflammation in your body, and when your body is inflamed, your muscles can't repair themselves properly. Imagine going for a walk or doing some light exercise, and instead of your muscles rebuilding and getting stronger, the inflammation from your diet is tearing them down even more. Over time, this leads to muscle loss, weakness, and fatigue. But it doesn't stop there. These ingredients don't just hurt your muscles, they hurt your bones, your joints, your heart, your brain. They drain your energy and accelerate the aging process. They affect your hormones, which are critical for maintaining muscle. For men, it lowers testosterone. For women, it disrupts estrogen balance. And without healthy hormones, your muscles simply cannot stay strong. Now I want you to think about this. Every single morning, millions of people wake up and make the same mistake. They add that splash of creamer, that squirt of syrup, that spoonful of sugar, and they tell themselves it's just a little bit. But when you add up those little bits every single day for weeks, months, and years, it's a mountain. And that mountain is enough to completely sabotage your muscle health, your balance, and your independence. I've had patients tell me, Dr. Mandell, I don't understand. I walk every day. I try to stay active. Why do I still feel weak? Why do I still feel like my body isn't getting stronger? And many times when we look at their diet, the answer is sitting right in their coffee cup. That tiny daily habit is undoing all the good they're trying to do. Let's take a step back here. Muscles are constantly in a cycle of breakdown and repair. Every time you move, lift, or exercise, you create tiny tears in the muscle fibers. Your body then rebuilds them stronger than before. But if your diet is filled with sugar and chemicals, that rebuilding process never happens. Instead, your body stays in breakdown mode. It's like trying to build a house but knocking down the walls every night. You never get ahead. And here's the most important part. After 60, your body is already more vulnerable. Muscle repair slows down naturally. Hormone levels shift. Recovery takes longer. This means that harmful foods like artificial creamers and sugars have an even greater destructive effect. What a 25-year-old might get away with, a 65-year-old cannot. For seniors, these ingredients are not just unhealthy, they're devastating. I know some of you are thinking, but Dr. Mandell, I only use a small splash of creamer. I only use 1 teaspoon of sugar. And yes, it may seem small, but remember what I said. When it becomes a daily habit, the damage compounds. Over the course of a year, that's hundreds of extra teaspoons of sugar, gallons of chemicals, and countless hits to your muscles and metabolism. The sad truth is that food companies know this. They know how addictive sugar is. They know how comforting these creamers and syrups are. They design them to hook you. But my friend, you are stronger than that. You don't have to let these companies rob you of your health. You have the power to make a change today, and it starts with simply saying no more to the ingredients that are tearing your muscles down. I want you to remember this. Every sip you take can either be healing you or harming you. Every bite, every choice, it all adds up. And if you want to stay strong after 60, if you want to keep walking tall, lifting, moving, and living independently, you have to cut out the ingredients that are secretly stealing your strength. That means saying goodbye to those artificial creamers, flavored syrups, and refined sugars. They do not serve your body, and they do not deserve a place in your coffee. So tomorrow morning when you pour that cup of coffee, ask yourself, is what I'm adding building me up or is it tearing me down? Make the choice that supports your muscles, your health, and your future. Because you deserve to be strong, you deserve to live with energy, and you deserve to age with dignity and independence. Now let's shift our focus from what destroys your muscles to something that can help protect them, repair them, and actually rebuild them no matter how old you are. And the ingredient I want to share with you today is simple, natural, and powerful. You don't need a prescription for it. You don't need a fancy supplement. You can find it in most grocery stores, and it costs just pennies per serving. I'm talking about pure cacao powder. Now don't confuse this with cocoa powder. Most cocoa powders you see on the shelves are heavily processed. They've been treated with alkalizing agents, loaded with sugars, and stripped of much of their natural nutrients. Pure cacao powder, on the other hand, is made by cold pressing raw cacao beans, which preserves the powerful antioxidants, minerals, and compounds that your muscles desperately need. So why is cacao so powerful for your muscles, especially after the age of 60? Let's break this down. First, cacao is one of the richest natural sources of magnesium. Magnesium is often called the relaxation mineral, but it's also one of the most important minerals for muscle health. Your muscles need magnesium to contract and relax properly. Without it, you get cramps, stiffness, and weakness. And here's something most seniors don't know. Magnesium deficiency is extremely common after 60. Many people aren't getting enough from their diet, and medications like diuretics, blood pressure pills, and even antacids can deplete magnesium even further. When your magnesium levels are low, your muscles struggle to rebuild, they fatigue faster, and your risk of losing muscle mass increases dramatically. By adding cacao to your coffee, you're giving your body a steady source of this critical mineral. Second, cacao is loaded with flavonoids, powerful plant compounds that improve blood circulation, and better circulation means more oxygen and nutrients delivered to your muscles. Think about that for a moment. Every time you move, your muscles demand oxygen and nutrients to perform and recover. If your circulation is poor, your muscles starve, they weaken. But when you improve blood flow, you're essentially feeding your muscles what they need to grow and repair. That's why cacao is so effective, not just for your heart and brain, but for your strength as well. Third, cacao helps lower inflammation in the body. Remember, inflammation is one of the biggest enemies of muscle health. It interferes with recovery, it causes pain, and it accelerates muscle breakdown. The antioxidants in cacao fight free radicals and reduce oxidative stress, which helps protect your muscle tissue from damage. This is especially important for seniors because as we age, our bodies naturally produce more oxidative stress. That's part of the aging process. But cacao gives your body ammunition to fight back and slow that process down. Now let's talk about energy. One of the reasons many seniors feel fatigued or sluggish is because their mitochondria, the little power plants inside their cells, aren't working as efficiently as they used to. Cacao contains natural compounds like theobromine and phenylethylamine, which help stimulate energy production without the harsh crash you get from sugar or artificial stimulants. This means you'll not only support your muscles, but you'll also feel more energized to move, to walk, to exercise. And when you move more, your muscles get stronger. It's a beautiful cycle. Here's something else I love about cacao. It supports mood and brain function. Now you may be wondering, what does this have to do with muscle? The truth is, when you feel good mentally, you're more likely to take care of yourself physically. Depression, anxiety, and low mood are major barriers for many seniors, but cacao contains natural compounds that help increase serotonin and dopamine in the brain, giving you that feel-good effect. So when you add it to your morning coffee, not only are you fueling your muscles, but you're also giving your mind a boost to start the day on a positive note. I've had so many people tell me, Dr. Mandell, I started adding cacao to my coffee and I feel like a new person. My energy is better, my muscles feel stronger, my mind feels sharper, and that's because cacao works on so many levels at the same time. It's not a magic pill. It's simply real food, nutrient-dense, natural, and designed by nature to support your body. Now let me be clear, I'm not talking about chocolate bars, hot chocolate mixes, or sugary cocoa drinks. Those are filled with sugar and additives that do more harm than good. I'm talking about unsweetened, raw, pure cacao powder. Just 1 teaspoon stirred into your coffee can make a noticeable difference over time. You don't need much. The compounds in cacao are so concentrated that even a small amount goes a long way. So let's connect the dots here. If you're over 60, your muscles are already at risk of shrinking due to sarcopenia. If you're adding harmful ingredients like artificial creamers and syrups, you're accelerating that loss. But if you replace those harmful ingredients with something like cacao, you're not only avoiding the damage, you're actively supporting repair, strength, and longevity. That's the beauty of this. It's not about deprivation, it's about substitution. It's about making one small powerful change that adds up over weeks, months, and years. I want you to imagine waking up 6 months from now. You get out of bed and instead of feeling stiff and weak, your legs feel stronger. Your arms have more energy. You walk more steadily. You feel more confident. That's what happens when you make small, consistent choices that support your muscles. And something as simple as cacao in your coffee can be part of that transformation. The truth is, it's never too late to start. Your muscles don't care how old you are. They only care about what you're feeding them and how you're using them. If you give them the right fuel, they will respond, they will repair, they will grow, and they will protect you just as they were designed to do. So tomorrow morning when you reach for that coffee, remember this: you have a choice. You can add ingredients that destroy your muscles, or you can add ingredients that rebuild them. And cacao, pure natural cacao, is one of the most powerful choices you can make. My friend, your body is a gift. Your muscles are your foundation. Take care of them and they will take care of you. Every small step counts. And this step is one of the easiest, most delicious, and most effective changes you can make for your health. My friend, one of the most important lessons I've learned in all my years of practice is this: it's the little things you do every single day that shape the direction of your health, not the things you do once in a while, not the big diet you try for a month, not the exercise program you start and stop, but the quiet daily habits you repeat over and over again. These are the habits that either build you up or tear you down. And when it comes to muscle health after 60, those habits can mean the difference between living strong and independent or living weak and dependent. Now, many people believe they need to do something drastic to improve their health. They think they need to join a gym, spend hours lifting weights, or overhaul their entire diet in one day. And while those things can certainly help, the truth is that health transformation happens in the everyday choices, the little consistent steps that don't seem like much in the moment, but add up to something huge over time. Think about brushing your teeth. It only takes a couple of minutes. But if you skip it day after day, the damage becomes obvious. The same principle applies to your muscles. If you feed them the wrong things, if you let them stay inactive, if you ignore them day after day, they will weaken. But if you feed them right, if you move them regularly, if you give them what they need day after day, they will grow stronger, even as you age. Let's go back to coffee, since that's where many of us begin our mornings. You wake up, you pour that cup, and you have a choice. Do you load it with sugary creamers and syrups that inflame your body and weaken your muscles? Or do you keep it clean and maybe even boost it with something like cacao that nourishes your muscles? That one choice may seem small, but remember, you'll be making it every single day. Over the course of a year, that's hundreds of opportunities to either destroy muscle or rebuild it. The same applies to movement. You don't need to run marathons or lift heavy weights to support your muscles after 60. Even small daily habits like walking around the block, doing light resistance exercises with bands, standing up from a chair 10 times in a row, send powerful signals to your body that your muscles are needed. And when your body knows your muscles are needed, it prioritizes keeping them strong. That's how the body works. Use it or lose it. I've seen people in their late 70s, even their 80s, turn their strength around not by doing anything extreme, but by sticking to small, consistent daily habits. One man told me, "Dr. Mandell, I started doing 10 squats every morning while my coffee was brewing, and after 3 months I can walk up the stairs without pulling on the railing." That's the power of consistency. Your muscles respond to patterns, not to one-time events. If you eat one healthy meal, you won't suddenly grow stronger. If you do one workout, you won't suddenly rebuild your muscles. But when you repeat those patterns day after day, they accumulate. And that accumulation is what transforms your health. Now here's something I really want you to hear. Your body does not need perfection. Too many people get discouraged because they think they need to be perfect to see results. They say, well, I already had sugar in my coffee this morning, so what's the point? I already missed my walk yesterday, so why try today? My friend, you don't need perfection, you need consistency. Missing one day doesn't ruin your progress. What matters is what you do most of the time. The daily rhythm of your life is what shapes your muscles and your health. This is why I often tell people, don't focus on the big picture too much, focus on the next choice. What's the next thing you can do to support your muscles? Maybe it's adding cacao instead of creamer to your coffee. Maybe it's taking a 10-minute walk after lunch. Maybe it's eating a piece of salmon instead of fried food for dinner. Each choice by itself seems small, but those choices are like drops of water filling a bucket. Eventually the bucket overflows. I want you to imagine your body 6 months from now. Imagine if every morning you chose a muscle-friendly habit. Imagine if every day you moved your body in some way. Imagine if every evening you fueled your muscles with real whole foods. 6 months may sound like a long time, but it will be here before you know it. And when it arrives, the question is, will you be stronger or weaker? That answer depends entirely on the habits you practice between now and then. Another thing to remember is that your muscles thrive on rhythm. Going to bed at a consistent time, waking up at a consistent time, eating at regular intervals. All of this helps your body function better. Muscles grow when your body feels safe, when it's not stressed and overloaded. And stress, both physical and emotional, tears down muscle. Daily habits that reduce stress, like stretching, breathing deeply, staying hydrated, and resting properly, are just as important as exercise and nutrition for keeping your muscles strong. I've always believed that health is built in the quiet moments of the day, not in the doctor's office, not in the hospital, not during the big decisions, but in the everyday moments when you choose what to eat, when to move, and how to care for yourself. Those little decisions add up to a big result. And if you want to protect your muscles after 60, you must start paying attention to those little decisions. So tomorrow when you wake up, I want you to ask yourself, what small thing can I do today to support my muscles? Can I walk an extra 5 minutes? Can I stretch before bed? Can I drink more water? Can I add cacao to my coffee instead of creamer? Pick one thing, do it consistently, and watch how your body begins to respond. My friend, muscle loss is not inevitable. Weakness is not your destiny. Your body is capable of healing, of strengthening, of rebuilding at any age, but you must work with it, not against it. And the way you do that is by creating daily habits that feed, move, and protect your muscles. It's not about making giant leaps. It's about making small steps every single day. Those steps are what will carry you into a future where you are strong, independent, and full of life. I want to share something very close to my heart because I see so many people over 60 who believe that their best years are behind them. They say, Dr. Mandell, I'm getting older, my muscles are weaker, my energy isn't what it used to be. I guess this is just how life goes. And I tell them, absolutely not. Do not accept weakness as your destiny. Do not accept frailty, low energy, or loss of independence as normal aging, because the truth is your body has an incredible ability to heal, to rebuild, and to transform no matter your age. I've worked with men and women in their 60s, 70s, even into their 90s who thought they could never feel strong again. And when they made small but powerful changes in their daily lives, I watched them stand taller, walk steadier, and regain a spark they thought was gone forever. This is why I am so passionate about teaching you how important your muscles are and how simple choices, yes, even something as small as what you put in your morning coffee, can completely change the trajectory of your health. Think about it. Your muscles are not just for lifting weights or looking strong. They are the foundation of your independence. Every step you take, every time you rise from a chair, every time you reach to grab something off a shelf, your muscles are working for you. Strong muscles mean strong bones, better posture, better balance, and fewer falls. Strong muscles mean freedom, the freedom to live life on your own terms. But when your muscles weaken, everything changes. Walking becomes harder, stairs become a challenge, carrying groceries feels like a burden, and your risk of falling skyrockets. And one fall can change everything. I've seen people lose their independence overnight because their muscles weren't strong enough to protect them. That's why I'm telling you this with urgency. Muscle is life. Protect it, rebuild it, nourish it. Now I know what some of you may be thinking, but Dr. Mandell, I've already lost muscle. I feel weak. Isn't it too late for me? My friend, it is never too late. Science has proven that even in your 70s, 80s, and beyond, your body can still build new muscle tissue. Your body never stops adapting. The only time it stops is when you stop giving it a reason to grow. And that reason comes from the choices you make each day. Let's go back to that coffee cup because it's such a perfect example. For years, maybe even decades, you may have been adding sugar, flavored creamers, or artificial syrups to your coffee. And slowly, without realizing it, those habits have contributed to inflammation, insulin resistance, and muscle breakdown. That's the bad news. But here's the good news. You can change that starting tomorrow morning. Instead of destroying your muscles with harmful additives, you can start rebuilding them with something as simple and powerful as pure cacao powder. And once that choice becomes a habit, it begins to reshape your future. But it's not just coffee, it's the overall picture of your life. Every time you choose real whole foods instead of processed junk, you're telling your body, build, repair, grow. Every time you take a walk, do a few squats, or stretch your body, you're telling your muscles, stay strong, stay alive. I need you. Every time you go to bed on time, manage your stress or keep your body hydrated. You're creating the environment your muscles need to thrive. And the beauty of this transformation is that it doesn't just stop with your muscles. When your muscles are stronger, your bones get stronger, your joints feel less strain, your heart pumps more efficiently, your brain gets more oxygen, your digestion improves, your mood lifts, your confidence grows. You see, muscle is at the center of so much of your health. When you protect it, you're not just protecting your strength, you're protecting your entire body. Now imagine yourself 6 months from now. You've made small changes every day. You've removed the harmful ingredients from your coffee. You've added cacao for its magnesium, antioxidants, and circulation boosting power. You've made it a habit to move every day, even if it's just a walk or a few minutes of light exercise. You've focused on nourishing your muscles instead of tearing them down. 6 months may not seem like a long time, but I promise you, if you stay consistent, you will feel the difference. You will stand taller. You will walk steadier. You will feel stronger. And most importantly, you will gain back confidence in your body and your future. I want you to understand that aging does not have to mean decline. Yes, the body changes with age. Yes, muscle loss is common, but it is not inevitable. You have the power to slow it down. You have the power to reverse some of it. And you have the power to transform your health by focusing on the things that matter most. The truth is, transformation doesn't happen overnight. It doesn't happen with one big decision. It happens in the small, consistent actions you take every single day. It happens when you choose nourishment over chemicals, movement over inactivity, healing over destruction. And when you string those choices together day after day, you create momentum, and momentum leads to transformation. So let me ask you this, where do you want to be 1 year from today? Do you want to be weaker, more tired, more dependent? Or do you want to be stronger, more energetic, and more independent? The answer is in your hands. Your muscles are waiting for you to make the right choices. They will respond when you give them what they need. My friend, never underestimate the power of small changes, removing harmful coffee additives and replacing them with something healing like cacao may seem minor, but it's symbolic of a bigger truth. You are in control. You decide what goes into your body. You decide how you move. You decide how you age. And when you decide to protect and rebuild your muscles, you are deciding to live life on your own terms with strength, with freedom, and with joy. This is your time. No matter your age, no matter your current condition, you can begin today. Don't wait for tomorrow. Don't wait for the perfect moment. Start now. Protect your muscles, rebuild them, and watch how your body rewards you with energy, resilience, and a renewed sense of life.